What it do, cyber world. It is your girl, the one and only Ash Said It. AshSaidIt.com, AshSaidIt.com. This is the Ash Said It Daily Podcast Show. I appreciate you guys for all of your love and support. Yes, over 500,000 streams worldwide and 1,100 episodes. Really, really awesome. Today, we are joined by founder and CEO of Fashion Counsel NYC, the beautiful Nicole Washington. Hey, Nicole.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us. All right, to start things off, Nicole, where are you from? Where do you represent?
I'm actually from Missouri. I'm from a small town outside of St. Louis called Columbia, Missouri. It is a college town, and we have like 5 different colleges in Mizzou. We have Stevens, which is a women's college. We have Columbia College, and then we have the VA hospital has its own college. So pretty cool growing up in a college town.
That sounds pretty awesome. Now, as you were growing up, what was your dream career?
I wanted to be in fashion. I always wanted to be in fashion. I thought that I wanted to be a fashion designer, but I realized later that that wasn't my passion in relation to fashion.
So I guess stemming from that, what were the building blocks for Fashion Counsel NYC?
Goodness. So I moved to New York to pursue a career in fashion. And, I soon realized that fashion styling was what I was interested in, and that's basically styling people, telling them what they should be wearing, or styling runway shows when you're working with designers during Fashion Week, or working with private clients, or photo shoots, just basically working with magazines, editorial shoots, whatever comes with styling, red carpet, which is like celebrity styling. And so once I figured that out, then I started to intern, and I started to assist key stylists in the city. And it was hard. I had to pick up and drop off samples and run around and get people coffee. And, it was just what an assistant does. But I had to do that so I could get the hands-on, training, on-the-job training. So it was good. And I worked with a company called, I actually went to school. Took a number of their certifications, and it's called the School of Style. And so they put us into these jobs. So it was really neat.
Okay. Now, what were the challenges that you were facing as you were starting your own brand?
What happened was I ended up working for corporate America. And I worked for a company called Dale Carnegie Training, and I don't know if you've heard of him, but Dale Carnegie wrote a book called How to Win Friends and Influence People, and I was with him for 2 years because obviously I had to make money. Yeah. I had to make a living. But in 2008, the summer of 2008, they literally laid us all off and just brought us into a room with the vice president and somebody from HR and was like, "We're letting you go." And so I was like, "What? How do you just wake up? You didn't tell us this last week. You didn't let us know." But obviously they knew that they were going to lay us off. So I got laid off, and I was like, "What am I going to do?" They gave us a 3-month severance package, and our health insurance for 3 months. And so that's when I decided to follow my passion and do what I was passionate about, because I felt like there's no way I'm ever going to work for a company and help them build make money for them, help them build their brand, and then one day they decide they don't need me. So that's when I started my company, and I actually started my company in 2009. And the challenges that you face with entrepreneurship is, how do I get business? How do I get people to see my brand? How do I get myself out there? And it was this constant struggle of, should I go back to corporate America? Should I go back and work for somebody? How am I going to do this? How am I going to keep this going? And so you just find a way to keep going. And I learned how to network and go to networking events and tell people what I do and meet new people and just focus on building my brand and getting the name out there.
Awesome. Okay, we're gonna pause on that tip right there, Nicole, because we gotta come back and get some more little gemstones from you. So you guys, hang tight for us for 1 second here. We're gonna hold tight. We're gonna come back with more with Nicole and talk about her brand and maybe that moment that she knew that she made the right move. She made that right move. So you guys, hang tight. We'll be right back.
Did you know that some foods can cause weight gain, body aches, and extreme fatigue? These are just some of the symptoms of food intolerance. Well, what is food intolerance? Food intolerance can occur when the body cannot properly digest certain foods. This can result in acid reflux, migraines, and so many other painful issues. How do you find out what foods are causing this irritation? It's easy. Pinner test. With 500,000 satisfied clients worldwide, Pinner test is the #1 way of identifying foods that may be causing discomfort. This simple at-home kit is easy to use with results usually within 2 weeks via email. It's that simple, all right? What are you waiting for? Go visit pinnertest.com and use my special promo code AshSaidIt for your discount today.
Welcome back to the Ash Said It Daily podcast show. We are talking with Miss CEO herself, Fashion Counsel NYC, Nicole Washington. So, Nicole, we talked a little bit about the background of building this company and then taking that leap out of faith and jumping into it. Now, what would you recall as your moment of confirmation? That moment that you knew, you know what, this is what I'm made for.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I guess I probably had a few. But I would say probably when I styled my first New York Fashion Week show. And I worked with a designer. Her name was Sujin Lee, and she used to design under Alexander McQueen. So her style was like, well, her designs were so eccentric and just really, really different. And so I worked with her because the production company that was producing her show brought me in as the head stylist. And it was like my first New York Fashion Week, so I had no idea how crazy it was going to be behind the scenes, but it was crazy, but I did it, and I was just like, I cannot believe I pulled this off. And so just doing that, and with the chaos with the models and just people in the back and not knowing what they were, like, stuff everywhere and trying to keep it all organized. And I think that was like just a confirmation for me that I can do this. Like, you know, this is what I love doing. No matter how crazy it got, I still wanted to be there. I was ready for my next show.
Okay. Now, what would you say is going to be next for Nicole? And of course, you know, Fashion Counsel NYC.
You know what? Right now I'm doing executive image consulting. So I've become certified executive image consultant. So I am coaching people on their appearance, behavior, communication, and their digital imprint. And so I actually have a company, D. Aiken and Associates, who has approached me to be my agent. So it'd probably be public speaking engagements.
Okay. Cool. What about upcoming initiatives? Is there anything coming up this fall that maybe you want to share with us?
So this fall, I'll be working with a business partner of mine who founded a not-for-profit called That Suits You. And what he does is he donates gently used suits to men in the community who don't have a suit, who need to go on a job interview or have to wear suits for work, and maybe they've been incarcerated and now they're out and they need to find employment, but they don't have a suit. So he does that, and he's teamed up with me to go into the inner city schools and coach kids on their image. And so what he does is he goes in, he talks to them, teaches the boys how to tie a tie, and talks to them about their image and, you know, different aspects of just making it in the business world. And so he brought me in to speak to the young girls. And so this fall we'll be doing a lot of different programs for the youth. And I created a pop-up workshop, and it's called It Girl Style Image Consulting for Young Women. So it is a 60 to 90-minute program where I coach them on their image, you know, behavior, communication, and their digital imprint, which is their social media.
Yes, that is amazing.
So it's pretty exciting working with kids, you know.
Yes, and getting them young and having them to understand, you know, and I'm sure that you're aware, you know, social media, kids especially, those young kids, they want to post everything. You know, everything's not for social media, and kids today are doing so much stuff just for attention, and they don't realize 10 years down the line, you're going to need a job.
Thank you.
But that's another story.
Right.
So that's, we ain't got time for that story today. Okay, so back to it. Back to it, Nicole. With all these experiences under your belt, the knowledge that you have, the friendship and camaraderie that you've gained through the industry, what advice can you offer to any woman today that has a dream on her heart and she just hasn't acted on it yet?
I would say focus on what you're passionate about. You know, find out what you're passionate about. Focus on what the things that you love to do. And always be entrepreneur-minded. Even if you work for a company, always have a side hustle or an eBay store or a Poshmark or something that's bringing you in another income stream. And if you don't want to be an entrepreneur, then get a high income skill, and that high income, any type of way, any kind of high income skill will generate you $100,000 a year or more. And that's what I would do. Go to college, get a high income skill, and then you can turn that high income skill into a scalable business. So that's what I would say do.
Sounds like a plan. Nicole, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate you so much.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate being on.
Not a problem. And let the audience know also the best way to get in contact with you and to follow you on social media.
You can email me at info@Fashion Counsel NYC. That is fashion, COUNSELNYC.com. And my social media, my Instagram is at the Bespoken Mogalista. It's Bespoken Mogalista. So those are the only two things I have. I really don't. I do LinkedIn, so you can find me, Nicole R. Washington, at LinkedIn.
Sounds like a plan.
And that's it.
Awesome.
I look forward to anybody who wants to reach out to me. I'm available for mentoring.
Sounds like a plan. Appreciate that. And I thank you guys so much for tuning into the show, for all of your love and support throughout the years. Keep in mind, anyone to tell you that you can't do what you want to do, you look them square in the face and tell them, don't believe me, just watch. Watch what I do. Watch me make it happen. Watch me make history. That's what we're doing this for. We're doing this for the history books. Social media is nice, but real life is way better. Until next time, you guys.